By the time the war began when I was 14, I had already come to a few conclusions. 1. Soulmates were bullshit. 2. The dragon was an asshole. And finally, 3. Boys were just not my thing. Some of those conclusions were more important than others, but each and every one of them shaped me, the person I am. My soulmate's name, James, may have been scrawled across the back of my right hand, but that didn't mean I was happy about it. Tegot, devourer of men, conqueror of kingdoms, almighty dragon, and the source of the soulmate magic, could go ahead and kiss my ass. Unfortunately, the rest of the kingdom of Phoeba didn't really share that sentiment. Instead, it wasn't at all uncommon for me to wake up to a line of Jameses outside the palace doors, all insisting the name Emma was written on their right hands and that they must be my soulmate. I'd gone on so many soulmate quests, I couldn't even keep track of them all. All of them were completed. None of them made the names on my hand turn gold. None of them were my soulmate. As annoying as it was to spend days or even weeks on quests with men I didn't care for, at least none of them stuck around. At least, none of them did until the Prince of the Kingdom of Astar.
Straighten your back, Emma.
Yes, Mother.
Oh, buck up. This war has been going on for a decade now. Much longer and Tegot would have had all our heads.
I know, Mother.
You're going to be pleasant and polite to Prince James while I sign the treaty with the Queen of Astar. Make small talk. Engage in deeper conversation, even. Make him like you.
Mother!
Look, I don't care how you treat him once you're already on the way to see Tegot. As long as you keep him close enough to sacrifice him when the time comes.
Victoria, keep your voice down.
Hush, Lawrence. They aren't even here yet.
Actually, I think I see their carriage.
You're right, that must be them. The royalty of Astar.
Thank Tegot. I don't want to stay in the Badlands any longer than we have to.
But you're okay with sending me on an entire quest here?
Stop complaining. Don't you want the war to end?
I don't know how you expect me to be happy about betraying and then sacrificing my potential soulmate to a dragon.
Girls, please, for the love of Tegot, keep your voices down.
Don't pretend you suddenly care about your soulmate, Emma. We both know you'd be pleased to see the name on your right hand crossed out.
I don't understand why Tegot wants a royal sacrifice in the first place.
Nor do we, darling, but he does. Perhaps he just wanted to see us fight over which royal family would sacrifice a loved one.
If that's the case, he sure got his wish.
They're getting out of their carriage. Queen Maria! Prince James! How lovely it is to see you in a time of peace.
It's not quite peacetime yet, Queen Victoria. Do your servants have the treaty? This was the deal. Since neither kingdom could decide which should make the royal sacrifice to Tegot, and since it recently came to the attention of both kingdoms that their prince and our princess shared soulmate names, Prince James and I were to go on a soulmate quest together with the intention of slaying Tegot before Tegot could rain his fury down upon us. In the meantime, our kingdoms would have a ceasefire. Of course, that was bound to change once the kingdom of Astar realized we betrayed and sacrificed their prince. So, Prince James, I presume?
Yeah, you sure do.
Okay. I'm Emma. It's about time.
Nice to meet you, Emma.
Right. Likewise.
I was so sorry
Pleasure's all mine.
the passing of your soulmate.
Why are your names covered up?
Huh?
Your hands, they're... You're wearing gloves? What, do you not like the font?
Yeah. Yeah, sure, it's the font I hate.
Sorry to interrupt your conversation, but the treaty has been signed. It is time for your soulmate quest to begin.
We are leaving you with horses and a wagon for supplies, but no guards or servants. You must do this on your own. Right, defeating your godly dragon on our own. Would you like anything else while we're at it?
Some respect, perhaps. Remember, Emma, the fate of our kingdoms lies in your hands.
And yours, James.
Humph.
I know, Mother.
I expect to see you back home safe and sound as soon as possible, young lady. No matter what it takes.
And then they left. Our parents just left us there in the middle of the Badlands to fend for ourselves. I had 2 blades strapped to my waist. A sword for fighting monsters, and a poison dagger for disabling Prince James when the time came. Both felt heavier than they should have, and left a bad feeling somewhere deep in my chest, nestled beneath my ribs. James didn't say anything as we watched our parents' carriages be drawn away in opposite directions. He didn't say anything as we finally climbed atop our mounts. Every time I looked over at him, he was looking up at the sky like he was silently praying. I thought about asking him who he was praying to, so I could pray as well. In the end, I didn't say a word.
Once upon a time, in a land not so far away, the story was just beginning. The story of 4 speakers, beings granted power over the universal language, over words and the power they represent. Meet Tabitha the Fox.
My dear, your wits are not nearly as powerful as your beauty. Learn from this, my dear, is what he'll call up to the crow.
Margie the Innkeeper.
I think you might need some help. And I really mean that, like, nicely. I'm not trying to say that you're weird or anything. I think we're all a bit kooky in this town.
Viola the Librarian.
No, Edward, there are no ghosts in the library. We've been over this many times. There are no hauntings in this library. We're not built over a burial ground. No one died here. There are no ghosts in the library.
And Orion the Newcomer.
I want to give it a chance, even though it's not looking good. I've only spent the day in this town, and I'm sure it's better than where I came from anyways.
As classic literature springs to life in the small town of Fox Jumps, these speakers must learn to tell their own story. Storybook Ending is an actual play podcast using Spell the RPG by Whimsy Machine Games. Find us bi-weekly on Wednesdays wherever you listen to podcasts.
I tried my best to make conversation, to get on his good side. I knew exactly what to say to get him wrapped around my finger. So, this weather, huh?
The weather's always the same in the Badlands. Sunny, too hot during the day, too cold during the night.
Right. Like I said, wrapped around my finger. So, Tegot, I've heard he lives far south of here, in the deepest part of the Badlands.
That's what they say.
We need a game plan, right? I mean, how do you fight a dragon?
With weapons.
Would be easier with magic. That was the first time he looked me in the eyes, I think, and he didn't even fully turn his head towards me. Just glanced at me out of the corner of his eyes, made eye contact, and then seemed to regret it. Still, he wasn't frowning anymore.
If you want to piss Tegot off and get turned into a monster before you even reach his territory, be my guest. Saves me from having to go on this impossible soulmate quest.
Maybe being a monster would be worth it. Can you imagine what it would be like to have magic flowing through your veins?
I mean, technically we already do. The magic that gives us our names?
It's not the same. Besides, I hate my names.
You do?
I'm not really into boys.
Oh. You mean your soulmate's name.
What did you think I meant? My own name?
Well, don't you think it's stupid that we're born with our own names on our left hands? Why does Tegot's magic get to decide what my name will be?
I don't know. I never really saw it as a problem.
Yeah, of course you didn't.
The Badlands was a barren area, full of cliffs and chasms and the red dirt. I wasn't really worrying about that, as I tried to figure out what I'd done wrong in my conversation with James. But I started worrying about it real quick. Shit! Look out! We really should have been paying more attention. We'd been walking along the edge of a chasm, and we let our horses get too close. One wheel of our wagon went over, and that was enough to tip us over. We fell.
Hi, everyone. This is JJ, the co-founder of Good Pods. If you haven't heard of it yet, Good Pods is like Goodreads or Instagram, but for podcasts. It's new, it's social, it's different, and it's growing really fast. There are more than 2 million podcasts, and we know that it is impossible to figure out what to listen to. On Good Pods, you follow your friends and podcasters to see what they like. That is the #1 way to discover new shows and episodes. You can find Good Pods on the web or download the app. Happy listening!
When I next opened my eyes, it was to the sight of a small crowd of people swarming the wreckage of our wagon. I snapped into action, scrambling backwards, only to run right into something. Or rather, someone.
Hey, watch it!
James froze then. He'd just woken up, it seemed, and he was only now taking in the strange people surrounding us.
I didn't know people lived in the Badlands.
Neither did I.
Hello, my friends. Are you hurt?
No, I don't think so. Just kind of sore?
It was not a long fall, but it was enough to break your horse's legs. Do not worry. We will care for them.
Oh, thanks? Where are we?
You are just outside the village of Fatefall.
Fatefall?
Yes. It is one of the biggest villages in the Badlands, nestled within the winding chasms.
Are you stuck?
What do you mean?
I mean, you're not choosing to be here, are you?
Everything we do here is a choice, my friend. From our names to our homes.
Your names? You pick your own names?
We're not content to let Tegot's magic define us. The names on our hands mean nothing to my people.
Really? Me too. I feel that way too.
Wait, you?
Is that a problem?
I guess not. I
am Royla. What are your names, friends?
Well, I'm Emma, and this is...
Jam.
Jam.
That's my name. I chose it, like Royla did.
Huh. Can I ask why?
Well, since you asked, I don't think of myself as a man.
Oh! That's... okay then. What do you think of yourself as, then?
I don't know. I feel like woman light.
Huh?
Like, I'm definitely not a man, but I'm not quite a woman either. I like to be referred to as she and they.
Weird. I mean, not weird, just different. I can call you Jam.
Is that why you've ventured so far into the Badlands? In order to choose for yourself?
Well, not really. Not to my knowledge. We're actually here on a soulmate quest, to kill Tegot.
Soulmate quest aside, killing Tegot. You cannot possibly expect to do this on your own.
To be honest, I don't think we can do it on our own, but our parents said we had to.
Well, your parents are not here, are they?
That's true. Are you offering to help?
Perhaps I am. I can help you navigate the chasms of the Badlands.
And what about our horses?
They may recover, though certainly not anytime soon. I'm afraid you will have to continue on foot, but rest assured, we Badlanders value all life and will do everything we can to help them.
Huh. I kinda like it here.
So do I.
Royla and some of the other Badlanders led us to Fatefall, inviting us to stay the night in Royla's home. I couldn't keep my eyes off Jam. I just kept watching her, assessing her, wondering if they really were my soulmate, and if so, whether they would even care. Unsurprisingly, thinking of Jam as an actual potential soulmate made the idea of killing her a little less easy to swallow. That night, we slept in the same room, on pallets of blankets on the floor.
Emma?
Yeah, Jam?
Are you really going to call me that?
I thought you wanted me to.
I did. Well, I do. No one's ever really listened before when I asked them to refer to me differently.
How come? It's not all that much trouble if it's something that makes you feel better about yourself. Or if it is, it's worth the trouble.
Thanks for thinking that. You know how our kingdoms are about the names on our hands. As soon as they saw the name James on my left hand, that's who I was to them.
I've never cared for the names.
You don't want to go by Emma.
No, I mean, I'm okay with being called Emma. I don't see any reason to change it, at least, but I've always disagreed with my soulmate name. Didn't think spending my life with a James would suit me at all, romantically.
Right. Huh. I hate my name, you hate your soulmate's name. It sure would be convenient if we actually were soulmates.
Yeah, but I don't see how it would change anything.
No, what do you mean?
I mean, we're still strangers, more or less. I don't know you. Having your not name on my right hand isn't gonna make me magically fall in love with you.
Oh, I didn't mean no. Yeah, I agree. Soulmates are stupid.
Tegot is stupid. That's why we've gotta kill him.
That, and the fact he's going to keep asking for a royal sacrifice if we don't do something about it.
Yeah, I guess that contributes a little bit.
A little bit, yeah.
Good night, Jam.
Good night, Emma.
I didn't sleep well that night. I kept thinking about the poison dagger on my person, about stabbing Jam in the back. I just couldn't convince myself to go back to thinking of them as a nuisance, no matter how hard I tried. Maybe it was knowing something so human about her, that she hated the names as much as I did, just for a different reason. I'd still do it, of course. I had to. There was no way we could actually defeat Tegot, even with Royla's help. I didn't have a choice. Not for the first time, that thought seemed to haunt me. When I finally fell asleep, I think I dreamed of Jam, but I couldn't tell whether she was with me or against me. Whatever it was, the feeling of helplessness stuck with me that night and through to the morning. When I woke up, I tried to piece together more of the dream, but the details slipped between my fingers. The only thing I was sure of was this. Getting to choose was dangerous.
The year is 1907, and Kor is still at war with Vitaru. Navy Lieutenant Lel Drozdov is caught in the crosshairs of the Dragonborn fleet, stumbling upon a briefcase filled with evidence implicating his Tsar's plot to kill his own citizens. Does he turn a blind eye? Or does he fight for what he believes in? Tune in to The Fate of Kor, wherever you can find podcasts.